How's it going, everyone? Matt Leighton, and welcome back to another real estate video. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the questions that you need to be asking your real estate agent when you're purchasing your house. This video is going to be for buyer's agents on the buy side when you're purchasing a house. I might do one down the line on the listing side when you're selling your home, but right now we're talking about the buyer's agents. Now, guys and gals, I love connecting with friends, family, and acquaintances who are outside of my marketplace, who have just bought a house, because I like to learn about the process and if their agent did anything in the other marketplace that I could kind of use and make my own in my marketplace. But instead, what I'm finding is that, friends and family, they've had a less than stellar experience, right? The process didn't go the way they planned. They ended up doing a lot of the work. Real estate agent was kind of slacking, and I wish I could say that this is a unique story just for my friends and family. Unfortunately, it's not. There's a lot of good real estate agents out there, and there's a lot of not so good real estate agents out there. So naturally, what I'll ask is the next follow-up question, which is, how did you get in contact with your real estate agent, right? How did you find out about them? And what I'll hear is, oh, they were at the open house, they seem nice, so we decided to use them. Or, oh, our uncle recommended them, right? Or the worst offender is the uncle is the real estate agent, right? The family member is the real estate agent. And, in my mind, what I'm seeing is that buyers are spending so much time researching homes. They have all the apps. They're on Zillow. They're on Redfin. They're out canvassing neighborhoods, going to open houses. But when it comes to actually hiring a real estate agent, they're not doing their due diligence. They're not doing their homework. They're not going through and putting these agents through the vetting process to maybe avoid these things down the line, which is why in this video, we're going to go through the top 10 questions that I have that you can ask your buyer's agent to hopefully have a smooth process and avoid any pitfalls down the line. So with that being said, let's begin. Question number one is, how long have you been in the business? There's no right answer here, but there is a wrong answer. 20 years experience is great, probably not necessary. 10 years experience is great, again, probably not necessary. You just want to make sure your agent has the experience and is capable of doing what you want to do, which is to purchase a house and go through all the contingencies and to make sure everything goes smoothly. You probably don't want to be your agent's first transaction. You probably don't want your agent to tell you that they got their license 2 months ago. You want to make sure your agent has experience. You can't teach experience, right? You can't teach it first and foremost. Experience is key. You want to make sure your agent has been around the block a couple times. Pun intended. Question number two is, why did you get into real estate? You're going to be spending a lot of time with your real estate agent. You want to get to know them on a personal basis. This question will uncover your realtor's motivation to get up every morning and to serve you as a client. Most agent-client relationships break down over lack of communication or miscommunication. So when it comes to negotiating or showings or communication in general, you want to understand where they're coming from and how they think as a person. Ask the why question. Why did you get into real estate? It's going to tell you more about who your agent is as a person, which will help communication significantly down the line. Question number three is, how many clients do you have? You want to make sure your agent has enough time to dedicate to you and your search. However, you also want to make sure that you are not your agent's only client. Why is that bad? Well, if the deal starts going sideways and you want to back out of the deal, well, that agent only has one shot at a commission that month, right? If that agent only has one client, they may try to save the deal even if the client wants to back out of it, right? That agent needs to put food on their table for, that agent and their family, right? So maybe being the only client isn't the best thing in the world. All right, so what happens when your agent says that they have 50 other clients? Is this a bad thing? Well, the way I look at it is that agent's probably pretty successful, which means they probably have systems and processes in place to help facilitate a smooth transaction. Now, you never want your agent's schedule to get in the way of a showing or to delay putting an offer in, but I think when it comes down to it, you'd rather your agent have a few too many clients than being the only one. Question number 4 is, will I be working with you or your team? The team model is becoming more and more popular. Be sure you know what type of relationship you're signing up for. I actually think the team model is pretty cool. The way it works is that usually there's a showing agent who handles all the showings, there's an administrator who handles all the paperwork, and then there's the lead buyer's agent that kind of oversees everything and helps out with the negotiating at the end. Think of it like your dentist, right? Your main dentist who's been there for 20 years, his or her name is on the, the outdoor sign. That's not the person checking you in, telling you to have a seat and, to read the latest magazine of Forbes. They're not the ones, doing the cleaning and scheduling your next appointment 6 months down the line. The head dentist's job is to come in the last 5 minutes, check up on everything, make sure, there's a clean operation running, tell a few knee slappers, right? And to make sure that you're happy. So that's the way to think of the team model, kind of like the dentist. The dentist is going to have all the people in place to help you out. Team model, same sort of way. I think both is fine. Team and individual. Just make sure you know which one you're signing up for so that there's no strange agents that you've never heard of or you've never met showing you houses. Question number 5 is, what area do you primarily do business in? Now, all of these questions should be asked in person at the initial buyer consultation. This question should have been asked on the phone by your agent. Sometimes it gets lost in the shuffle, which is why I'm including it. What area do you primarily do business in? Now, it's kind of 2 parts to this. 1, you want to confirm that your agent knows the area that you're looking in, right? But 2, your agent wants to confirm that they're comfortable and they want to spend time in that neighborhood. Because if you call me up and tell me you want to look at houses 45 minutes down the road outside of my marketplace, I may cut our meeting short prematurely. It may not be a good fit, just depending on a few aspects. Now, your agent doesn't need to know every single block of the area you're looking in. They probably should, but that's a whole nother story. But you just want to make sure that your agent is extremely comfortable and knowledgeable in the target market that you're looking at. Question number 6 is, what sets you apart from other real estate agents? Real talk, guys. It's almost 2018 and the real estate industry is under attack, as it should be, because it is very difficult sometimes to tell the difference between 2 real estate agents. Sometimes it's very difficult to see the value that a real estate agent brings to the table. Ask your agent what they do differently, what sets them apart from other agents. They should have an immediate answer. I'll give you an example. I'll give you an immediate, in fact, I'll give you 3 immediate answers. Number 1, I'm here in Arlington, Virginia. That's my marketplace. Number 1, I was born in Arlington, Virginia. I was born in my marketplace. Extremely transient area, Northern Virginia, DC, extremely transient. Not many people were born here. I was born here. This is my town. Number 2, I have 150 videos on Arlington real estate on YouTube. 150. I don't know any other agents that have 150 videos talking about Arlington, Virginia, businesses, secrets, parks, places to go. 150. And number 3, I live in the inventory that I sell. I sell Arlington condos close to the metro. I live in an Arlington condo close to the metro. I don't go home at the end of the day 45 minutes down the road. This is my town. People see me at Whole Foods. They run into me on the street. They find me at the gym. Like this, I'm here. Like I live here. This is my town. I was born here. I live here. I play here. And I have 150 videos on YouTube about my town. Like I'm in it. Like no one else, like literally no one else has that. Ask your agent what they do differently. Just like you saw me brighten up and have a little spark of energy talking about myself, because everyone loves talking about themselves, your agent should be chomping at the bit to tell you what they do differently than other agents. Question number 7 is, how do your fees work? When you're purchasing real estate, usually that buyer's agent commission is already worked into the sales price and is set by the seller and the seller broker. So there's no extra out-of-pocket expense for you, the buyer. Sometimes there is an administrative fee, also known as a desk fee, that your buyer's agent will charge and pass on to you. If they bring this up, see if you can ask them to waive the fee. A lot of times it's pretty common that, you're purchasing hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of property. they can waive a couple $100s worth of fees, right? So, because you're entering into a contract, you want to be sure that you fully understand how the fees work for your real estate agent. Question number 8, after hearing my needs, what do you feel is the best strategy moving forward? After hearing my needs, what do you feel is the best strategy moving forward? After you've had an in-depth conversation with your agent, they should have a good idea of how to best proceed to find the type of property you're looking for. Hopefully, it's more than just putting you on an automated email search. You already get all the updates. The automated search is faster. It is faster, I will give it that. But hopefully there's something in addition to that. See how creative your agent is. Things to look for are maybe they recommend going to open houses. Maybe they're going to send out direct mail. Maybe they're going to go door knocking. I wouldn't set the expectation that your real estate agent is going to go out there and door knock for you. It all depends on the type of property you're looking for. But after an in-depth conversation, you got to have some sort of plan. You got to have a plan moving forward, and hopefully it's something more than just the automated search. Question number 9 is, how will we communicate? Like I said earlier, most relationships break down over a lack of communication. Agent-client relationships, well, you know what? All types of relationships, right? All types of relationships break down over communication. So you have to be on the same page with your agent on how communication will take place. If your agent prefers weekly phone calls on Sunday evening, weekly long phone calls to recap everything, and you prefer, short, quick text messages throughout the week because it's 2018 and who makes phone calls anymore? Well, you're going to have a challenge communicating, right? If one party loves to email and you love to text, there's going to be issues there. So get on the same page, figure out what mode of communication works best so that everyone's expectations are met. Question number 10 is, what questions do you have for me? This might be the most important question of them all. It's like if you were to go to a job interview and at the end of the interview, the interviewer asks you, the job applicant, well, what questions do you have for me? And you say, oh, no questions. Oh, no, everything sounds good. Well, that just makes you look disinterested and ignorant, right? It makes you look like you don't care, like you're not prepared. Your agent should be all over you. How long have you been looking? What have you seen that you like? Have you put any offers on any properties, right? Things along those lines. Any question is better than no question. The last thing you want is for your agent to say, okay, sounds good, let's set you up on an automated email and forget it. Set it and forget it, right? You don't want that. You don't want a passive agent. You want a proactive agent that is genuinely interested in your search. Guys, there you have it, the 10 questions that you need to be asking your buyer's agent. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you learned anything, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. And if you're not already subscribed, please do subscribe. You can hit that link right now for weekly real estate videos. I really appreciate your support. Okay, thanks again for watching. Until next time, create a productive day. Take care.